Welcome back to the farm and to a video I didn't think I'd have to post. This week sort of went from bad to worse. I was working on the bulldozer and I smelled some coolant burning, so once everything cooled off, I looked at the radiator and sure enough there was a hose clamp that had rotted out and all the coolant was leaking out of the radiator. So I got a big hose clamp, I made the repair, I refilled the radiator with a couple gallons of coolant, and that problem was solved. That wasn't the end of the problems though. The starter solenoid that I repaired in the last video seemed to only be an intermittent fix. I determined that the starter solenoid on this bulldozer is probably bad. It needs to be replaced, but I fixed it as a band-aid with a couple patch cables, positive and negative. It works now, and it works consistently. I also got a 12-volt Harbor Freight solar panel, and I hooked it up to the battery, and I left it in the sun all week to charge up the battery a little bit. This, however, is where things went from bad to worse. I wanted to start the bulldozer, so I turned on the fuel shutoff valve. I unscrewed the bottom of the bowl a little bit just to make sure fuel was flowing, and then I went around the bulldozer and I tried to start it. Nothing. It wouldn't fire, so I tried it again. And once again, nothing. On the 8th or 9th try, the pony motor did fire up, but as soon as I went to start the diesel, all power left the pony motor. It was running in a diminished state, but it didn't stall out. I played with the choke a little bit, and that would increase the RPMs. But as soon as I released the choke, the RPMs fell right down again. Eventually, the pony motor will stall out, and this is where I'm looking for help. I'm hoping somebody can possibly tell me why this might be happening. It seems like it's a fuel issue, either with the fuel shutoff valve, or possibly the carburetor. So the first culprit could possibly be this fuel shutoff valve contraption. This is what's known as an all-fuel style sediment bowl shutoff valve. It looks like a very old unit compared to what newer ones look like on Amazon or Google Images. There doesn't appear to be any sediment in the bottom of the bowl, and fuel does flow when the shutoff valve is turned on. So I don't know if this is the problem. This pony motor has never caused an issue. It always just starts. It has never failed to start. Further, it's largely rebuilt. The magnetos have been replaced. The carburetor has been rebuilt. It's in really good shape. So I just don't know what's going on here. It seems like when it does fire up, it stays running for as long as there's gas in the carburetor, and once that runs out, it starts to stall. It almost seems like it's not pulling in new fuel. Also, it seems like when any load is placed on the pony motor, such as starting the diesel engine, it dies right out. Playing with the choke will keep the pony motor running. But it seems like that shouldn't be the solution here. There's definitely something else going on. Another problem here is that I'm not a mechanic, so I don't inherently know how this all works together, nor do I really know what to look for. I'm hoping somebody out there can help me. So in the end, I had to get a little bit creative. I realized that if I held the choke out on the pony motor, it would stay running. So while holding the choke outward, I manipulated all of the levers required to start the diesel engine as quickly as I could, while still maintaining the choke outward on the pony motor, and guess what? It worked! The diesel engine fired. I wasted a full hour and a half of my valuable weekend time trying to get this thing running. I don't want to have to do this every time I try and start the bulldozer. It wasn't the most productive weekend. I was plagued by some problems I couldn't really resolve. I did manage to get about an hour of quality time in starting the cut-through of that road that leads to the cleared acreage on the side of my property. I hope next weekend is a little bit more productive, and again, I appreciate any help that you can provide. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.